So there's this thing called success. So many people try to achieve it. So what? What is actually to be successful? Is it to be famous? Is it to be rich? Is it to be really good, talented at something? Just for the sake of interest, I decided to look up the very first definition on Google. What does it mean to be successful? And what I found is achieving or having achieved success. That doesn't really bring you anywhere far, right? Actually, the interesting thing is that throughout your ages in life, success, how you perceive it, changes a lot. For example, when you're in school, maybe success for you is to have a good grade. In university, you see opportunities. That's success for you. After graduation, maybe success is just not seeing the unemployment line. Well, I know. But actually, what I wanted to speak about today is more or less something that so many people want to achieve it because it's so comforting, yet so quick to get away. And does anyone know what's on the screen right now?
Chart.
Yeah, it's actually a special chart. I don't know how many rock song fans I have in this audience, but it's actually a Fort Minor song, remember the name. Put it on the chart. And you probably have heard a lot of people who have failed over and over again. I know a lot of stories. And before they succeeded, so like the Stephen Henry Ford, which was already mentioned the day before, he failed 1,000 times with his inventions before he invented the light bulb. You might have heard of Michael Jordan, right? Anyone in the audience? Right? Okay, good. At least one. In his famous commercial, Failure, he explained how many times he failed, that he lost over 300 games, missed over 9,000 shots, 26 times. He was trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed it. And according to him, that's the reason why he succeeded. So when you look at those great people, where is that verge, where is that line between regular people and really successful and great people? It's motivation and persistence. It's the feeling that pushes you to move forward when you'd rather step back, or makes you do something when you just don't want to do anything at all, completely. And to visualize this, I just want you now to take a second, take your pens or what you have around, or a phone, and take a couple of seconds to write 2 greatest strengths that you have, that you think that you have. Maybe you're really good at basketball. Maybe you're all A or all 10 students at school. Maybe you're a great debater. Maybe you're really good at drawing, animation, music. Okay? Think about 2 things that you're really, really good at. And now, for 10 or 20 seconds, turn to the person next to you and share these 2 greatest strengths that you have. Please.
I know, she's not. She's good at guys.
Okay? The speech is pretty short. I'd like to interrupt it. You probably could get, on and on, say, well, wait, I'm still good at that and that, right? How are you feeling? Do you feel better now? Do you feel moved? Do you feel uplifted? Right?
Yeah.
In the same way, I could have asked a different question. Give me a list of 30 things that you're just terrible at. You would have come up with a list just like that, just as fast, or maybe even faster. And the reason, and actually that's the vicious thing what we all have, is that we tend to concentrate on things that we do wrong, on our mistakes, rather than on our successes. And actually, sorry. And everything depends on the perspective that you look at. And that brings to my first rule that I really hope that you'll remember after this speech, is if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. Let me visualize this once again. How the human mind works. Now look up at the ceiling. Everyone, look up at the ceiling. Pick a spot. Just pick a spot. Put your finger in the air and go clockwise around that spot. Clockwise. Okay? Clockwise. Now keep spinning the finger and bring it down just under your chest, chin. And keep doing the same motion. Now look at your finger and see which direction it moves now.
What?
Oh, that's bigger. So it's now turning counterclockwise, right? And this is just shows the example of the power of perception, how we look at things. We can very easily concentrate on what we're terrible at, what we can we'll be really bad at, or we can look from another perspective and turn it counterclockwise. Okay? I want to share with you one very short but very passionate story for me, which I really like about human mind. There was a family who had two identical twins, small boys. And regardless that they were identical twins, they were complete opposites. One was total optimist. He loved the people, he loved the life, he loved everything, in all the toys, everything. The other one was a complete pessimist. He hated everything, he hated toys, he didn't listen to his parents, he hated his friends. And the difference in those two twins was so radical that parents just couldn't believe that two kids could be so different in the same family. So they brought those two twins to a children's psychologist. And of course the doctors were also surprised, but they said, we have this test for such situations, and let's just try that. So they put the pessimist kid, they brought to one room where there's a lot of toys, different toys, candies, everything. They said, well darling, we'll leave you here for half an hour, all the toys are yours, have fun, we'll come back. They slammed the door, they went to another room and brought the second optimist kid. The room was completely empty, but in the middle of the room there was a big horse maneuver. I said, well darling, have fun, we're going to come back in an hour. Slammed the door. In half an hour they went to the pessimist room, opened the door, and he was sitting in the same position like he left him. They're asking like, darling, why didn't you, ride the horse? He's like, well, I'm afraid to skin my knee. Then why did you eat the candies? All the kids like candies. I'm afraid my tummy will hurt. Then, why didn't you play with the ball? Like everyone like playing with the ball, basketball, anything. Well, I'm afraid to break my leg. Then he went to the second room. And when they opened the door, they were all shocked because the kid had a horse maneuver all over the ceilings, all over the wall, all over the floor, all over himself. And they say, what on earth are you doing here? He's like, with all this horse maneuver, there has to be a pony somewhere. So this is, I think the example that you should still remember afterwards is how different we can look at different things, how our perception makes us better off by changing the way we look at things. But that's one thing. Had these two kids for the here. So yeah, another thing which is also really important is that think big. Do you think those people who graduated before you from the same, let's say, gymnasium, who got hundreds from their state exam, do you think they wanted hundreds? They wanted to be the best in Lithuania to get those, and they got hundreds. Do you think the salespeople or investment bankers who are in Wall Street, like the real successful ones, they wanted just to get to Wall Street? They wanted to be the achievers of new financial instruments, of everything was the best in the world. Think big. You might have heard the saying, always shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll still end up on the stars. Probably some of you have heard it, right? And you have to imagine big goals. And one another story that I'd really like to share with you is, a story of the boy who was trying to sell a dog. there was a man who was going every morning to work, and he saw this dog, this boy selling this poor dirty dog on the corner of the street for 25 cents. He comes in the evening for work. He said, I guess he's that boy. And after some 5, 6, 7 days, he approached the boy and he's like, well boy, I see you're having some trouble selling the dog. He said, yes sir. Would you like some help? He's like, yes sir, I'd love to. Well, no one wants a dog for 25 cents. You have to just take this dog, bring home, give him a bath, make him look nice, and then sell it for much more. You'll see it will succeed. The next morning, the guy goes by the same corner, and he sees the same dog, just very nice, white, washed, with a big ribbon, and there's a price, $10,000. And the guy said, well, I told you to think big, but this is just ridiculous. Nobody's going to buy a dog for $10,000. So he's like, well, you sir, you told me to think big. This is the biggest number I could come up with. And he's like, well, you didn't discourage the young salesman. And in the evening when he came back, the boy was gone, the dog was gone, the sign was still there. Crossed out, sold. Well, he was like, wow, okay, I gotta find this boy. So he made his way through, he found the boy, knocked on the door, and the boy opened the door. He's like, well, I understand that you're gone, the dog is gone, you sold it. Yes, sir, and I really appreciate your help. I sold the dog. So how much did you actually get for the dog? He said, well, actually, I got $10,000. He said, wait, well, I help you, don't need to lie to me. I know you sold it, just tell me the truth. Sir, I'm telling you, I sold the dog for $10,000. He said, but who bought it? How did you do it? Well, I got 5,000 cats for it. Learn to think big, but most importantly, bring down the goals, break them down into smaller goals. Enjoy small victories. Enjoy every small step that you put forward and celebrate it. When I was leading the interviews for a peak time organization, I was asking my potential associates, how would you eat an elephant? And they thought I'm crazy, because, well, first of all, nobody eats elephants. Maybe someone in Africa, no. But it's just huge. It's a huge goal to do. And they were coming up with different solutions after thinking. But how would you eat an elephant? You would, well, maybe you'd freeze it, but and eat it by bit. But that's the point. If I brought you the elephant, cut it in pieces every day for a lot of days in a row, you would eat the whole elephant even without knowing that you just ate the whole elephant. Learn to celebrate small victories, step by step, breaking down your annual goals into smaller monthly goals, your monthly goals into your daily goals, and just keep the momentum going from your success to success to success. And I just want to finish with a thought, is that today's the day, now is the time, you are the person. There will never be another day like today. So just remember, if you think you can, you can.